Sorry, I'm muted. Always one. Sorry about that. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us for our very first episode of Executive Edge. Executive Edge is presented by Office of Executive Education here at the University of Georgia, Terry College of Business. Executive Edge is a LinkedIn Live speaker series featuring discussions with corporate thought leaders and business school faculty, offering in-depth previews of our cutting-edge executive programs. My name is Jason Parrish. I'm the Associate Director of Learning Solutions for the Terry College of Business, Office of Executive Programs in Atlanta. I'll be hosting these LinkedIn Live events at noon on select Wednesdays throughout the year. So please follow us on UGA's Executive Education page on LinkedIn to see our latest lineup of events. Today we're going to discuss the Terry College of Business CFP Certification Education Program. Delivered in partnership with Greene Consulting, this program is a registered program of the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards. Upon successful completion of this certificate program, students are eligible to apply for the CFP certification exam. Joining me as our presenter today is Dan Madden, Program Director and Manager of University Partnerships at Greene Consulting. Dan has been with Greene Consulting for 20 years, first as Programs Coordinator and currently as Manager of University Partnerships and Business Development. His responsibilities include managing and developing relationships with university partners to develop and deliver expert executive training and development. He also serves as program advisor to current CFP students, as well as an online instructor for Greene's live fundamentals of insurance sessions. Dan also creates and manages online training and course content for the CFP program and earned his CFP certification in March. Thank you for joining us today, Dan. I'll hand it over to you from here, and I'll pop back in for questions from the audience when you're done. Thanks.
Perfect. Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody joining us today. And I'll just make one correction to the very end of that. It wasn't in March. It was March of 2004 or 5 that I have the CFP certification. So for anybody wondering, I've been in this game for a little more than a couple of months, been many years. So know a little bit about what the CFP is all about. So I want to be quick. I know everybody is probably joining us on lunch or some other quick time. So I think it's always beneficial when talking to students and people who are interested in the CFP to do a quick kind of rundown of what the CFP looks like, the whole process and the exam and all that. And then we'll talk a little bit about our specific program and why so many students have found it useful for them. So I'm going to go through a quick little slide presentation here. So I'm going to pull that up and I think my video will go away, but there's some good information on the slides that we'll talk about. And if anybody has questions, feel free to chat those in and we'll either address those right away or at the end of the session, be happy to answer any questions folks have. So I'm going to go ahead and bring that up here. Give me just 1 second. All right. So Jason, let me know if that is going now.
Gotcha.
Okay, great. So like I said, I appreciate everybody joining us today. Again, my name's Dan Madden. So what are we going to go through here? We're going to go through what is the CFP board, what is the process for certification, and then a little bit about the program, and then timing of the entire process. That's another question that people have. What can I expect in terms of going through this beginning to end? And then really what to expect on the CFP board exam, because that's kind of the big part of the whole process of passing that CFP board exam. So first of all, why would somebody want to become a CFP professional? Well, the obvious benefit is gaining the knowledge and the expertise that's found in the coursework and the experience of going through the program. So without a doubt, just the process of going through the program is going to help you better serve your clients' needs. But on top of that, obviously we want satisfied clients, right? So we know satisfied clients are going to be loyal clients, and they bring more of their business to us, give us referrals and things along those lines. So according to a survey commissioned by the CFP board, 87% of clients who use a CFP professional as their advisor are going to be either very satisfied or satisfied with that advisor. And that compares to actually 72% of clients who work with an advisor who does not have the CFP certification. So that's a big difference there in terms of the satisfaction of our clients. Like I said, it's going to translate into increased earnings from various sources. So the number here is practices with a CFP professional are going to attract 53% more ultra high net worth clients than practices without CFP professionals. So what does that mean in terms of dollars and cents? Well, practices with CFP professionals, again, are going to earn 40% more revenue than firms without. 40% more revenue. So think about growing your revenue by 40%. What does that do for your practice, for you personally? It's a huge, huge number by gaining this certification. But not all of us are part of a practice. So quickly, what are some numbers on solo practices? Well, solo practitioners with the certification report 26% more in compensation than those without it. So pretty compelling numbers in terms of what it can do in terms of growing your business. All right. So I think we can all agree that there's benefits, obviously, to the CFP certification, and I don't think you would be here today if you weren't interested in that. So let's really get into the process of CFP certification, and they have what's called the 4 E's: education, examination, experience, and ethics. So these are the 4 requirements before you can use those little CFP initials. And the first one I'm going to talk about is ethics, because that's the easy one. The CFP board will do a background check. You confirm that you haven't had anything in your background that would keep you from being a CFP professional. Stealing money from clients is probably a big no there. So that's the first one. There's not much to do in that regard. Nothing that is really required on your end. And then starting back at the top with education, there's really 2 components to the education. One is going through a CFP board approved education program. Obviously, the University of Georgia program is an approved education program. The other component to the education is having a undergraduate degree, a 4-year degree. It can be in any subject, doesn't have to be related to finance or anything else, but you do have to have an undergraduate degree. So that's the education. The second one on there is examination. That refers to the CFP board exam, and I'm going to go through that briefly here in just a few minutes, so we'll save that. And then the third one on here is experience. The short of that is if you are 3 years in the financial services industry, you will typically meet the experience requirement. There's some other ways to meet the experience requirement as well within 2 years. But we don't need to go into that unless anybody has specific questions on that. So in short, the experience requirement is 3 years in the financial services industry. Essentially, any part of the financial services industry is going to qualify. Obviously, only the CFP board can make that determination. And if anybody has any questions, like I said, I'll be happy to answer those at the end here. So what to expect from specifically our program, but overall in terms of the entire process. So the average completion time of the educational program is about 12 months. And that's if you spend 5 to 10 hours on a weekly basis. Now, depending on background knowledge, depending on how much time you have outside of work and other responsibilities, you can complete this program really from anywhere from 6 to 21 months. We in fact actually have students that will finish this program in 3 to 4 months just because they have that extra time. Once you're done with your educational component, you really want to give yourself at least 2 months ahead of the CFP board exam to properly prepare. And really the reason for that is if you think about going through an educational program for almost a year, there's a lot of information, a lot of things that you may start to forget. And so that 2 months ahead of the board exam is really important to kind of get back up to speed and really prepare yourself for the exam. Okay, so now specifically to our program, let's talk about a few of the benefits. And the overriding thing I would say about what we've tried to do in this program is really provide the amount of resources so that really any type of learner is going to be able to succeed in this program. So to that end, we have 24 hours, 7 days a week access to the program. So you can access all of the material within the program anytime that's convenient to you. Like I said, the abundant resources, and some of those would include a personal advisor. Every student has a CFP professional as a personal advisor, somebody you can send questions into, whether that's specific to some of the content, if you have questions about the entire process, anything we can do to help, you will have a personal advisor. We have instructor-led sessions. So these are going to come on top of what we call the self-paced program. And so the self-paced program allows you to go through the program, like I said, at your speed, get through the lessons, take your exams whenever you are ready. The instructor-led sessions are 23 two-hour instructor-led sessions that are essentially a high-level review of the content from the program. So it really gives you, again, that added level of learning for some who learn better by hearing somebody deliver a lecture. And then the last thing on here is the practice management. This is included with every enrollment, and it is not CFP board required material. What we've done here, this material takes what you've learned in the CFP program and applies that to everyday interactions with your clients. So how do you identify key needs of your clients? And then how do you communicate those needs to your clients in a way that motivates them to act? So again, this is all intended to help you grow your business. And that's something you're not going to get in any other program. So I was going to take a quick look at the platform layout here. So bear with me one second while we switch over to that, just so people have an understanding of what the platform would look like. All right. So when I talk about the self-paced lessons, you're going to go here to your learning center. And then this is where you would access all of your content. And the main thing I'm sure people want to see is really, what does the content look like? What is the self-paced lessons? So I'm going to go into the fundamentals course, and you can see that you've got every single course, every single lesson all listed there for you. And this is page by page. So you would go through these lessons. And then when it's time to take an exam, you would take an exam. So I'm going to show you real quick one of the lessons. This is the calculator lesson. And what we've done in this lesson, because it's important that you understand how to use the calculator for the program and for the CFP board exam. Not only are we going to teach you the steps of this, you'll see on this coming page here, one more page, and we'll see you can have a calculator. We're going to have a calculator on the screen, and this is going to show you where to the keys that you need to use, and it'll show you exactly where you want to be inputting whatever calculation on your calculator. So it goes really, really in depth and really allows students to learn that full process. So that's really how the self-paced lessons are laid out. You're just going to go page by page through the content like that. A lot of interactivity, a lot of opportunities to learn. All right, so I'll exit out of that just so you had an idea there and go back to the slideshow here. Oh, excuse me, I thought I went back to that same page. All right, so now finally, let's talk about the CFP board exam. That's a big thing, obviously. Like I said, a lot of students ask about. The CFP board exam is administered 3 times per year in March, July, and November. There's an education deadline, which is the time by which you must finish your educational program like this. And then there's also a registration deadline for which you must be registered for the CFP board exam. And those dates are different. And we obviously help you manage those deadlines and make sure you are finished with the program and registered for the CFP board exam in the appropriate time. The exam is 170 multiple choice questions. So every single exam, every single question on the exam is a multiple choice question. Some of those are just individual multiple choice questions. Some of them are what we call case studies. And so they'd give you, 5 or 10 pages of information and then ask you, 10, 15 questions based on that information. So it's a comprehensive exam covering 170 questions and then all the topics. And how it's delivered is 2 3-hour sessions. You take these at a Prometric testing center, so they're all over the country. And once you register for that, you'll get your specific date and location. But again, 2 3-hour sessions with a 40-minute break. All right, so that's really it in terms of the presentation and the entire process of getting the CFP certification and what our program looks like. So, Jason, I'll turn it back over to you and see if we have any questions. I'll be happy to answer those if we have them.
Thanks, Dan. Great information. I'll give the audience a chance here. If anyone does have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comment box on LinkedIn. So far, I don't see any, which I guess that means you were very thorough, Dan. That was great. But again, we'll just give it a few seconds here if we do get any questions from the audience. If not, I will go ahead and say or tell everybody that you can find more information on our website, of course, more detailed information anyways. It's at executive.terry.uga.edu. Our next in-person class is going to be held here at the Terry Executive Education Center in Atlanta. That starts on September 7th. Space is limited for that class, so we do recommend you register as soon as you can. And Dan, when's your next online course offered?
Yeah, so the self-paced, obviously you can enroll at any time, and the website for that is uga.financialplannerprogram.com. Again, that's uga.financialplannerprogram.com. So you can register there and register at any time. The next instructor-led session is going to be starting in September. September 17th will be the next date for that. So it's a great time to get enrolled and get work done before that first session in September.
Okay, awesome. Well, and we welcome you guys, of course, to follow up with us later on. If you do have any questions, you can still drop them in the comment box here after this is over, and we will address those. You can also reach out to us and find our contact information on the website as well. And we also ask you to just follow us online on our LinkedIn page if you want further updates. When we have these, our next one will be on Wednesday, August the 11th at noon, and it's going to be presented by Dr. Craig Piercy. He's a senior lecturer at the University of Georgia, Terry College of Business, and it's going to be focused on the fundamentals of cloud computing program. So again, just follow us for updates, and we appreciate you coming today and listening in. And we wish you all well, and we'll see you next time. Thank
Jason,
you.
Real quickly, I'll answer. There was one question that came in about salary in the first year.
Here it is. Perfect.
So, and that's a common question. So I think it's a good one to answer real quickly. It's so hard to put a number on that, Randy. It really depends on a lot of different factors. You know, the client base that you have, the type of role that you're specifically in. Truthfully, somebody who's straight out of college and is getting into this business could probably expect to earn, you know, between 35 to 45 or 50,000, but that grows very quickly as soon as you start to grow your business. So if you're somebody in another business already and you're transferring, changing careers to become a CFP professional, you might be able to have a greater number in that first year. It's really, if you are a face-to-face advisor, it's really going to depend on the number of clients you have and what you're doing for those clients. So it's a big range, but certainly as you gain experience and as the years go by, it can be a very lucrative profession, both financially and in the impact you make in your clients' financial world.
Great. Okay. Looks like that might be the only one, Dan.
No problem.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you joining us today, and we'll sign out for now, and hope to see you again soon. And thanks, Dan, for presenting today. We really appreciate it.
You bet.
All right. Take care.
Bye all.